What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Dense Pixels Podcast. I'm your host, Brad, joined by my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
Terrence, as usual, is coming through this week because I am slowly making my way through Clair Obscure. For some reason, I don't feel the necessity to, smash it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of enjoying taking my time going through it. Yeah. Which is
I just received the last party member.
me too. I think you and I are probably in pretty much the same spot.
Okay.
So,
The last party member.
yes.
Okay. I know.
Andy Serkis.
Wait, that's not Andy Serkis.
That's not Andy Serkis?
No, that's not
Andy Serkis is the villain.
Yeah.
He sounds just
Andy
like that
Serkis
motherfucker.
yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah, that's not
Not
Andy
the
Serkis.
samey people that sound.
I was like, wait a second, did you just drop a huge spoiler?
I was like,
Well,
I have to go back.
No, they all sound like this. Yeah. Well, okay.
I immediately like what's his name? Monoko, I think is what his name is.
Yes.
Because they made the very smart choice of having the tenor of the voice juxtaposed severely with the lines that they say, which is very funny. So
I like their banter. I like the banter between the two of them.
Yeah.
It's very funny. Like it's legit, it's like genuinely funny.
yeah. Talking to Versa is like, I would never follow you, and he's like, but they'll be fighting. He's like, you're right, there will. He's like, there will. He's like, all right, I'm in.
You got me.
But Terrence, once again, Game Pass comes through for you because you've been playing the latest big new release, Doom: The Dark Ages.
Yeah, Doom: The Dark Ages. It's the third in the remake of this series. It's fun. Like I don't really have a lot to say about it. It's fun. It was written by a 12-year-old, right? Because
I did hear one of the critiques of the game is that there's too much story. Recognize why we're here and realize that we don't need all of these cutscenes.
It's the Doom Slayer is his name. Like we don't need a lot of fucking exposition, but they give it to you anyway. But what I would say is written by a 12-year-old because they were. The last game I wasn't a big fan of Eternal, honestly. Like all the flippy dippy shit. I was too much jumping around for a Doom game. I'm like, this is weird. This one they took it back to basics. He's just a tank. A tank with a shield, throws a shield, he charges with the shield. His jumps cause shock waves. You know what I'm saying? It's a power fantasy, but like if you get hit once or twice, you die. When I say it's written by a 12-year-old, because they were like, hey, what if we gave you levels where you jump into a mech and just start squaring up with demons, right? Why not? Like you jump into a mech and those levels, you're literally just punching mechs.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Or hey, let's just give them a dragon because it's the Dark Ages, you know. You're just flying around on a dragon some levels. I'm like, all right, doing your Panzer Dragoon best. No, it's fun. Like it's just a fun game. If that's what they were going for, they achieved it. I think it's just a straightforward FPS, very fun. You just kill shit. I don't really know what else to say. It looks terrible on the Series S, but it runs really well on the Series S.
I will say the one thing I do appreciate that they did between Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, and now this is that they've not seen fit just to release like another Doom. Like they've gone out of their way to make each game feel different.
They're very different,
right? And even if that's not to everyone's taste, like Terrence, to your point, you said that you really didn't like the way that Eternal played, but there are some people that are like, no, Eternal's my favorite one out of these
best
three.
one, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And or there's some people that still are like, now 2016 was the best one. So like, it's cool that they don't see fit just to sit back because they could just release like Doom 2016 3 times and it would still probably make the same amount of money. Yeah. But I appreciate the fact that they wanted to do a little bit more than just copy paste.
Yeah, there's something for everybody.
Yep.
Between those 3 games, if you're an FPS person, there's something for you in at least one of those games. So yeah, that's cool. The other game that I've been playing.
Hold on. Before you do get off of Doom, what it's called the Dark Ages, right?
Correct.
And so it's like King Arthur and demon dragons and like aesthetically, is it any different from any other Doom?
No.
Like, so why is it
not,
just
not necessarily? It's still like corridors, like you're still running through like. Well, actually, this one is like wide open areas in this game, and you do run through corridors as well, but you have like dragons and shit like that. It's weird.
Yeah.
This takes place before 2016. The 2016.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be like a prequel,
it's a prequel
right?
to Doom. Yeah.
So in the future, we go back to like the age of Camelot, but like with
I'm
guns
scratching
and shield.
I'm
With
scratching
guns.
my head as to why you're getting up in arms about a series that's predicated on extra dimensional portals opening up to hell, just kind of being like the main thrust of the plot, and you're just like, wait, but how can we go back in time? Who cares?
But it's just,
It's just a reason to kill things with very large guns and apparently like a massive flail as well in this one.
Yeah, I don't have the flail yet. So it must be later. It must be in the next level or so. So
I'm just fascinated by genre blending, but this doesn't seem like it's genre blending like space western, right? Like Cowboy Bebop is a space western, right? And it's done really, really well, right? But like, yo, this is just Doom with like a shield. Like
yeah, that's pretty much it. And he rides a dragon. Again, there are mech levels in this game. It don't make a lot of sense at all. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know they had mechs in the Dark Ages, but like it works. It's stupid. It's dumb. Oh, also I played. They had free play days. I played Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy.
Yes.
That game is incredibly.
Yeah.
That game is incredibly stupid.
It is dumb.
That story
I
is
like
dumb.
it.
That gameplay is very fun. I really like that. I played that for like 2 or 3 hours. That was very fun. Another game I played, Alia. This game that came out like 2 years ago. It's like a cozy game.
Mm-hmm.
I put a couple hours into that. I like that. But the game. Well, you said you wanted to guess. What game?
Well,
the only thing
I could guess that knowing you for as long as I have, the only thing I could guess that you would be curious about but would not want to put money into is Doki Doki Literature Club.
Nigga, what the fuck? I don't even. I don't even know what that is. No clue.
From what I understand, if you ever play it, that's good that you have no idea what it is, because going into it completely blind is apparently the way to experience that game.
You want to take a real guess? Or was that
that was my guess. I'm just trying to be funny, and I'm failing at it miserably. So go ahead.
No, this was a game that I actually have played in the past, but I gave it another shot because I actually own it. It was still on my system in my library. Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh snap! Oh snap!
I went back to it. Remember all those years ago? I don't know how many, 10 years ago almost. I played it and I couldn't get out of the fucking Hinterlands. And I said, fuck that game.
Famously. Yes.
And again, I bought that game. It was only like $10, but it had all the DLC with it or whatever. But I gave it another shot because I had downloaded Dragon Age Origins also, because that was free. It's free on Game Pass, and it's a fucking 15-year-old, 17-year-old game. I played that for a little bit, and the combat in that game, while I know it's a lot more free than Inquisition, like you have a lot more, like, you know, you can do a lot more with it, player expression wise. It's slow as fuck. I hate it for Origins. But the story, the 3 or 4 hours that I played, is better so far than Inquisition. Like the story in Origins, I can tell it's just a better story.
Yeah, that's why people are so butthurt about every other Dragon Age, because Dragon Age Origins has such like it's very, very like grown up.
Yeah.
For its and they kind of dumb them down a little bit story wise, like not just story wise, but like storytelling wise, you know what I mean? And not to the point where it's like, not to the point where it's these people are like harassing devs, right? Like it's not like there's nothing that serious. But yeah, it's very much like, hey, the first one is it's the RoboCop thing, right? Dragon Age Origins is RoboCop. And
That's a
by
little.
the end of it, by the end of it, it's RoboCop 3,
RoboCop 3
where
is
it's
so
just
fucking
like
terrible.
That's
But
pretty
Inquisition was
extreme.
not terrible.
I would just comment about how the Dragon Age, the way it evolved, it exactly mirrors Mass Effect. Where like one came out, story great, gameplay mid.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
overcorrected for 2, and then 3 found probably the best balance between the two. I would say.
yeah. I was including the fourth Dragon Age in my RoboCop comparison.
Yeah, I heard that
I don't
one
hate
went on
it.
like great.
I don't hate it. It just I don't hate it. I
Like
don't
I
hate
saw
it.
that like
I
now
don't
that I
love it,
know who
but I
these
don't hate it.
characters are, the redesigns, I'm like, okay, I see why people
But
don't really fuck with it.
but before you besmirch that, like, would you rather play Dragon Age: The Veilguard again or have to watch RoboCop 3?
No, I would play Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
Yeah, of course you would.
Yeah.
Of course you would.
But anyway, I'm 25 hours into the game. That's how much time I put into the game so far. I got the
In
Sky
Origins?
again. Or no, in
Inquisition.
In Inquisition. I got the Skyhold, and hey, look, all you got to do is give me a castle or a house that I can upgrade, and I'm in, nigga. like when we got the Skyhold and it was all messed up, and they're like, oh, this is now your keep, and I'm like, oh, I get to customize it. Okay, that's what's up.
Have you played Fallout 4?
Fallout 4?
Yeah.
I got like 120 hours in Fallout 4.
Okay, I couldn't remember if
Yeah.
you had played it or not, but I was thinking,
yeah.
I was like, if you hadn't, I was like, it seems like that might
Yeah,
be.
but yeah. That's again. I put on over 100 hours of Fallout 4. I actually really like that game.
Oh.
Another game that people don't really like compared to like Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Again.
How about Indiana Jones in terms of my comparison to Dragon Age?
Oh, I was about to say, wait, you had one. Wait,
Again.
you have.
Oh, I see what you're saying, because then 4 came
Yeah.
out and it was Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Oh, right, 4 is Crystal Skull.
Do you consider Inquisition to be the best
Which one is
Dragon Age
worse?
game?
It's the one that I enjoyed the most. It's the one that I played the most.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I knew you played one of those multiple times. I couldn't remember which one.
I
Yeah.
played Dragon Age, the original Dragon Age, twice on console, twice on PC. I've played Dragon Age Inquisition. That used to be like a yearly thing. Like I got I got a platinum in on the PlayStation, and I think I have 1,000 gamer score on Xbox. Don't quote me, but I think I do. And I don't give a fuck about achievements. Okay, those little numbers don't do anything for me. It's trophies all day. But I really enjoyed that game a lot.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I started my character is a rogue archer. Pooh, buddy, that's a terrible class to start with, my man. It's terrible. It is awful. For like the first 10 hours, that shit was trash. I'm like, I'm so glad I got 3 other people on my team to pick up the slack. But like, I just finally got the specialization. I did the specialization mission, and I picked the Tempest class. Because it has the flask where you can throw a flask on yourself and you have like infinite stamina for like 5 seconds, which is awesome. But the story is fine, right? The biggest issue I have with the game is it's an Ubisoft game.
Okay.
For audio listeners, we had a special visual guest on the podcast for 2 seconds.
Give this to mommy, please. Give this to mommy, please. Thank you. All right. Thank you. See ya.
It's an Ubisoft game, and when I say it's an Ubisoft game,
Yeah, with the Matt vomit.
There's a lot of busy work. I'm like, yo, come on. Why am I planting flags? Y'all just planted a flag across the street. Why am I planting another one? What are we doing? It's a lot. It's a lot that you kind of like forget the story for 3 hours, and then you're like, oh shit, I got a story to do because I'm trying to level up. Leveling up is very slow, which kind of driving me crazy. But I'm getting through it. It's fun. I like the dialogue between the characters in Origins more than in this game. Honestly, like Alistair and Morgan, that shit was funny. Like those two going at each other is very funny. This one, I like the characters. Varric is not in my team. So far my team is Cassandra. Wait, is that her name?
Yeah.
Cassandra. I
Yes.
have. Yeah. Damn, you remember her last name?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I played the shit out of that game.
I have Cassandra. I have Solace and Iron Bull as my team right now. And that's what I've been rolling with for like the last hours. Yeah, it's just a well-made game with a lot of busy work that I'm not really a big fan of, but like the fact that the combat is pretty cool. It's not as tactical as the first game at all. I like the only reason why I even use a tactical thing is to like save a CPU character from dying. Right? I use my main character, and like when they're doing stupid shit, I switch to them to get them out of trouble to pop like a healing potion like that. So it's not a lot of strategy. It's just that using a scout. I mean, using an archer was really a bad idea. It was like it's really bad. It was pissing me off. But I pushed through, and it's a good game. I see why people like it.
Yeah.
10 years later, or 11 years later.
Yeah.
And it came with all the DLC. I'm planning on how long is it? Because I don't know how long it is.
You gonna do all of it? Well, I can't. I'm not really a good gauge, because like I did a lot, and I went through all the Trespasser DLC and all the, the
I have
story.
all the DLC, yeah. So I have all.
I would do all of it if you're into it. Like if you're really into these characters, yeah, I would do it, and then play the Veilguard, and be a little disappointed, especially with like the characterization of some of the people. But yeah, like that's one of those games that's like I like the majority of the cast. You're right, it is a grind, but whenever I want to grind, I'll just pop on a podcast and just start doing stuff. And yeah, it some of the DLC switches things up a bit. Some later game stuff like switches things up a bit. I really enjoy that game, man. I really do. Like it's up there with one of those like yearly playthroughs that I do, like with Mass Effect.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I like it.
Cool.
10 years later. Because again, it just took me. All I needed to do was get out of Hinterlands.
I was about to say,
that shit
like
made
how
me
long
really
how long did it take
upset.
you to get out of the Hinterlands this time?
Like I was because of my previous like game time with the game. I'm like, yo, I'm making it a priority to get out.
Yeah,
of this
literally,
shit. So-
literally the second you're allowed to.
So I was, how long? I was in there for a little bit though. I was in there a little bit longer than I wanted to. Maybe what's the second section that I got to? I can't remember. What the second set? You might know.
Isn't it like the Storm Coast that's the second section or something like
I
that?
didn't do the Storm Coast. I went to the something Meyer.
I know the Storm Coast is where you meet
Iron
Scout, and then
No,
then
is
you
Iron
can
Bull
get
in the
Iron
Storm Coast?
Bull. Yeah, Iron Bull is in the Storm Coast.
Okay, yeah, I didn't go there first. I went to what's that? There was this one place that you go to where you get Sarah.
I forgot that she was in it. Yo,
She's not in my party. She's
no.
fucking. She reminds me of Becky Lynch.
Thank you. Thank you. That's it. Whenever anybody questions why I am not a Becky Lynch fan, thank you. I can just point to that. I can
Yeah, I'm
point
like
to Sarah.
she's not on my team. She absolutely not. She stays there. I got that little weirdo dude. What's his name? Cole. Also.
Yeah. Cole's kind of a waste to
Is
me
he?
because he doesn't really have a lot of personality. He has a story, but he doesn't have much of a personality for me to want to keep him in the party. And then Sarah's got way too much of a like personality that I hate.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you can join my party, and then I threw her in the party, and then I got Iron Bull like 40 minutes later, and I'm like, well, deuces,
All right, bro, it's time to go.
you're going. So that's the part I've been rolling with for the last 20 some hours. Yeah, it's fun. I like it. I enjoy it. I'm probably gonna plan. I'm planning on doing all of the DLC. Because I'm like really enjoying what I'm playing. Like again, it's just that grind. I need to take a break every once in a while. Like this is, come on, man. Why am I doing all this shit? Just to get power and influence so I can unlock another level. I'm like, all right, fine. But it's great. I get it now. 11 years later.
Hey, better late than never.
Right. Yeah, and they gave it a frame rate boost, so it was running at 60.
Yeah, I was about to say, probably even on the S, I'm sure that probably runs
It
very
runs
well.
perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
and
Like
probably
the S
looks
is
pretty good.
Technically stronger than the PS4, right?
It is, yeah. I mean, it has to be stronger than the Xbox One, right? Like, or Xbox One X, I should say.
It's on par with the PS4 Pro.
Okay.
As far as the specs.
So then yes, it should run very well.
It runs like again. They gave it the FPS boost as an FPS boost mode, and I think HDR mode too. I'm like, that's unnecessary, but it's fine. But yeah.
All right. Well, that's
Inquisition. 11 years. 11 years in the making.
What a way to stay current on our 2025 gaming podcast. Good place to take a break. We'll come back and we'll get into the news this week. So. Why is it that like when Bungie got, bought by Sony, it turned out to be this like real monkey's paw kind of situation? I mean, really both of their acquisitions from first Activision then Sony turned out to be monkey's paw kind of things. But it seems like it's really gone sideways since they've gotten with Sony because we've seen, layoffs and all sorts of stuff. And another case, because this isn't the first time they've been caught doing this. The big story now, artistic plagiarism. So a Scottish artist who's named Fern Hook accused Bungie of taking assets from work that she had used previously and used it in the alpha for Marathon. Now, for people that are like, oh, like, are we sure that this happened? Like, there's literally art assets in the game that people identified that has her signature still on it, like scrubbed out, basically, that you could like see signs of wear and tear from the game. So yes, this 100% happened. Bungie did acknowledge that this is the case. They blamed it on a former staff member who is no longer with the studio.
Do you believe them?
Who can say?
They were like, yeah, this is they worked on it in 2020. They're no longer, they're no longer with us.
I'll tell you what. I'd be more willing to give them the benefit of the doubt if this hadn't happened before in Destiny 2, because a similar situation had cropped up a couple of years ago. Not quite blatantly to this degree, I don't think, but a similar situation had popped up with Destiny 2 a few years ago. So again, it's like a fool me once, shame on you kind of situation. Either way, their controls for vetting this stuff obviously are not to the degree they need to be if this is still happening. The game's director, Joseph Cross, or the game's art director, I should say, said that they are conducting a thorough review to remove any art from the game and make sure that anything that is in the game that was inappropriately sourced will be taken out, and that this won't happen in the future. They also said that they've reached out to her to apologize and to make sure that they do right by her, though they have not said what they're going to do. I'm assuming some sort of licensing or financial compensation would go along with this, because a lot of the aesthetic of Marathon is based off of this artist's
yeah, it's her aesthetic,
right?
Like I saw this the other day. I was like, wow, they are just straight up biting. That's crazy. And then you see the actual assets from her in the game,
which from my understanding of how this stuff works, like when an art team for a game goes to put this stuff together, like I'm sure they grab art from a lot of artists to use as like a jumping off point, right? Like, this is the style we're going for, this is what we're trying to do, and then they make their own art based off of like what that style guideline is that they're trying to achieve. You don't just rip it off, hook, line, and sinker from an artist. And in relation to this story, a report has come out from I believe Forbes, from Paul Tassi, who claims that morale at the studio is in quote free fall across the entire organization, not only in part because of this plagiarism scandal, but also because like the marathon closed alpha that dropped a couple of weeks ago.
People don't really like it, right?
Yeah, people like they think it's a perfectly
It looks
cromulent,
fine.
right?
Yeah.
Like it's fine, it plays fine, but obviously like this is a live service extraction shooter, and they're trying to please both like the hardcore Tarkov players and also like the Destiny fans. But of course, by trying to please everybody, you're probably going to end up making a game that really appeals to nobody. Not to mention the fact that unfortunately for them, another closed alpha for Arc Raiders dropped like a week later, and people who play extraction shooters are like, "Oh man, like Arc Raiders has the juice. Like this game is fucking legit." And Marathon was almost forgotten about.
I've seen a bunch of on YouTube. I've seen a bunch of people when that beta came out. I'm on YouTube all the time. I saw a bunch of people playing it. I never saw anyone shoot a bullet. I never saw anyone fire a gun. I was like, what the fuck what do you do in this game? Every time I put on one of these streams, they were just kind of like running around.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the fuck y'all are doing in this game.
Well, that's kind of, well, so the point of an extraction shooter, is it is kind of it's PvPvE. So like, like multiple players are on a map and you're also competing against like AI, like NPCs and stuff like that. Kind of the point is you go in, you drop in, you try to sneak around and get like materials and shit like that, and then you exfil basically. Because if you die while you're in there, then anything you're carrying, including like the shit that you brought with you to the mission, like you lose it all, basically. So like that's kind of the gameplay loop behind these games. There's a couple of them that are popular. Escape from Tarkov is probably the most popular one in this genre. But of course, because Tarkov got popular, now everyone else is rushing to capitalize on the craze. Like from what I understand, like the decision to make Marathon an extraction shooter is directly because like there's a bunch of people in Bungie that were playing and really digging Tarkov, and they're like, well, what if we did our own version of Tarkov? And so again, but that genre of extraction shooter is a niche within a niche, right? Like it's kind of like people were like, man, like Battle Royale isn't hardcore enough for me, so I'm gonna play this game where like the stakes are elevated to insane degrees, and the permanence and the ability to lose stuff is very high, and so they're trying to make this game, you know, like appeal to a wide audience, but the extraction shooter fans weren't really digging it. And the regular Destiny people, the regular Halo people, they're just like, well, I don't really have any interest in this extraction shooter. So, not to say that this is going to be like a Concord situation where it's just going to be like embarrassingly DOA, but I struggle in the current environment that we're in. I struggle to see where Marathon is going to find an incredible amount of success.
Isn't Marathon like their first game that they
It is.
made?
It is.
So
The IP is.
The IP. Yeah. The fact that they turn this into an extraction shooter because they're trying to chase a trend, kind of dumb, right?
Yeah,
like that was a first-person shooter. Like, what are you doing? Did you not see the fucking Justice? Was it Killer Justice League, Suicide Squad? They did the same shit. Concord, like you said, did the same thing.
Yeah.
Chasing trends, and like this game is in beta right now.
It's an alpha right now.
Alpha?
It's supposed to come out this fall. Is when it's
I was about to say, doesn't it come out in September?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, like people are like having orgasms to this fucking Arc Raiders game. Again, I didn't see anyone shoot a gun in like 10 different streams. But I don't get it. I was like, what the fuck are you niggas doing? Okay. Everybody's like, the game is fine. The best part of it is the aesthetic, which apparently they stole. So, you know.
Right. And then combine that with the fact that like Destiny 2's kind of in like this weird black hole right now because like they completed the 10-year story, right? And so now they're trying to continue to support the game with like seasons, but to mixed degrees of success. You know what I mean? Because that now they don't have this like slowly evolving tail to be able to kind of crutch everything on. And also for the other downside for Destiny, and this bugs me personally, it's one of the reasons why I fell off the game is because basically like they took all of their PvP talent and moved it over to Marathon. So like the PvP in Destiny 2 really hasn't been touched in literally like 4 to 5 years. like with any degree of you know significance, I would say. So we have layoffs in the studio several months ago. And not only just layoffs, but also just moving people around to Sony corporate proper from Bungie. You have Destiny kind of in this like weird place, in this weird limbo. You have your next big game that's supposed to be this huge massive hit that's so far been, met with indifference by a lot of people. Guys, are we worried about the long-term future of Bungie as a game development studio? Like are they in the bad place right now?
What is it? Halo and
Destiny
Destiny
and now Marathon. Yeah.
They gave Halo the 343, right?
Well, they left Halo with Microsoft is probably a more accurate way to.
Well, yeah,
to say
and
that, so.
like that series has kind of been, Halo 4 or whatever came out. They were like, it's fine. Yeah, I stopped playing games altogether. But like Destiny, they said the 10-year plan for Destiny, and when I remember thinking, I'm like, 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck would play this game for 10 years? And clearly, a lot of people.
Yeah, people did.
a lot of people
did.
played that shit for 10 years. I'm like, that's a lot, man. But okay.
I mean, it's probably why they thought they could get away with doing an extraction shooter, right? Like, oh, hey, this extraction shooter we're playing is really good, but we're Bungie, right? We can make it great, right? Look, man, I understand the need to want to appeal to like a mass audience, and I respect the art style that they're ripping this off from, but this is not going to appeal to a mass audience. Just the look of
shooters,
it.
that genre doesn't appeal to a mass audience.
Right, like
Just
you're
in
not
general.
going to like no matter what it looks like, and aesthetically, I was looking at because I didn't know much about that Ark game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it and I'm seeing human beings running around, shooting things and killing things. And now I'm looking at Marathon and I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. And it just and the color palette is very No Man's Sky-ish to me. And
I'm
you
not
know
a
how
big
I feel
fan
about
of
that.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm not really a big fan of the aesthetic for fucking Marathon.
I'm not either, man, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to get like if you want to get like a mass audience, the first thing a mass audience see, they look with their eyes first. Before you got to get them. It's got to look enticing, and this looks odd in not in a bad way, but in a way that I don't think that I wouldn't be like, hey, this is going to be the McDonald's of extraction shooters, right? Like everybody's going to love this.
And what's funny is I'm kind of in the opposite camp from you guys. I actually kind of dig the style of the game. Like it looks bold and unique. Like obviously it's not going to be.
I appreciate it,
right? But I kind of dig it. I'm not down with the whole kind of aesthetic around it because the whole thing with this game is that you play in teams of 3, right? And if you're playing by yourself, like the game encourages you, and these styles of games do, just because of how they are, the game encourages you to squad up with people. If you're solo queuing, you just get paired up with other solo queues or a duo queue, and you can actually make it so that you say, no, I'm going to be by myself. Like I don't want to be paired up with people, and the game will let you do that. But the game, both from the enemy balance, and also the fact that like there's no solo queue playlist. Like the enemies are balanced for teams of 3, and you're going to play against other teams of 3. So you can play by yourself if you want, but you're basically 1v3ing everyone else in there. So like it's not going to be a very solo queue friendly game to begin with. So for me, like that's a huge detriment. The other problem that the game's going to have, and this apparently for extraction shooters, this is apparently a positive, that it's not free to play, because like those games, apparently it's good for the game's in-game economy that it's not propped up by solely by microtransactions and stuff like that. Like it's good that people pay a cost of entry to get in. But for this moment that we find ourselves in, good or ill, kind of the expectation for these mass multiplayer games that pop up now is for the games to be free to play, to find that initial audience. I think it's one of the biggest detriments that Concord had, is that by all accounts, the Concord, the game, was a perfectly good shooter, but people are like, I'm not paying $40 to play this game. And Marathon is going to have, I would say, at least a $40 price point. I think they announced it, that it's going to have a $40 price point. I could be wrong about that. But it's going to have an upfront cost of entry. And so you're going to run into the same problem where you have people that are like, hey, what's this cool game? This looks interesting. It's $40. I'll wait and see. But a game like this is going to be completely reliant on having a strong and robust player base to be successful.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, wasn't Warframe free to play?
Warframe still is.
Warframe is always free to play.
Yeah, and it's, you know, I didn't put much time in Warframe, but I know people who have, and you know, anecdotal evidence or whatever. But like, people actually, people love that game, man. So and you know, that game doesn't exactly, you know, it's not it's a unique look, but like, you know, a little too generic in my opinion, like uniquely generic.
Mm-hmm.
Someone watched the Guyver and was like, yeah.
Right.
That's what happened. That's what happened with that game.
Yeah. So like you said, this at least has some sort of unique, evocative look to it. But yeah, I think you're right. I think of a barrier like an initial buy-in is not going to do this game any favors.
And Destiny 2 has been free for years now, right? Free to play for years.
Ish. It is. It's that's the other thing, man.
I mean,
like,
when I played it, I had to pay for that shit.
Like Destiny is the most obtuse game. Like it. And this is current as of a couple of years ago. Like Destiny content creators that I followed, like, you know, they're asked all the time, like, hey, like, I'm looking to get into Destiny. What's the best way to go about that? And like their recommendation is, I don't know, man. Like, I don't really know the best way to tell you to get to onboard onto this game. Like it's a really awkward game to onboard to if you're just getting into it for the first time. So yeah, it is free to play, but like free to play in Destiny is only going to get you so far before you're going to have to pop down some money. Yeah, man. Like I'm probably more concerned about Bungie now than I ever have been, even more so than during the kind of dire last days during the Activision part of it, before they got out under Activision and became independent before being picked up by Sony. So, and what an investment by Sony, by the way. I mean, they spent what, $4 billion on Bungie. I can't imagine that's paying off in spades. So
spending so fucking much money on these goddamn. Hey. Like, you spend all this money and then you fucking hamstring them.
I mean, look, man, they spent money at the worst possible time to spend money, and now the bills are coming due, and so, you know, it's why Indie's the way to go, like we said.
Yeah, it's like the two biggest games that have come out so far this year, like 2 AA games. What is that? Split Fiction. People love that game, and Clair Obscure.
Well,
I want to play that game.
Probably 2 games in the running for like game of the year.
Split Fiction, in fairness, published by EA, so like I don't know that we can give it the indie,
but like
the indie plaudits.
I guess. It's EA, but the EA lets that guy do what he wants. You know.
Well, because he has a proven track record. That's why they let
right,
him
he's got a
do
track
this.
record. That's
right.
what I mean. Like
Yeah.
he's still they just kind of give him carte blanche to do what the fuck he wants, and he makes a specific type of game. So I'm gonna give that. You know, it's EA, but like not.
It's EA at their most altruistic. It's the same part of EA that woke up. Like they're like the version of Mr. Burns that got like the fucking happy pills injection, right, and started like walking around, like, you know, I bring you love like all the time. Like that, that's the same EA that's like, we're not going to be putting out $80 games anytime soon, guys. Like don't get it twisted. So
Sure.
So that's the same one. So now that the Epic Apple situation has been mostly resolved in court, now we've entered the extremely petty phase of relations between the two. So Epic has reapplied to have Fortnite reinstated back on the Apple Store, and apparently Apple is just kind of doing the equivalent of the pocket veto of the of re-enabling Fortnite to the Epic Store. So basically, according to Tim Sweeney of the CEO of Epic Games, Apple's just like not responding to them. They're just fucking leaving them on red, basically.
Okay. All right, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
And so now he's
so
now he's going to said they're going to go back to the court to see if the court can make Apple put Fortnite back on the iOS
And
store.
Who
knows? Who knows, man?
What kind of lawsuit is that? They won't put my
Government trying to
game on
tell
their
this
service.
company what to do. Like, good luck.
They won't put my game on their service. Like, they don't fucking have to. What are you talking? Get out of my fucking courtroom. What are you doing? What's wrong with you?
Oh,
Yeah,
so that
sounds like
That
a
free
really
market
silly
shit
lawsuit.
goes out the window when it affects you, huh?
Right. Fucking.
yeah.
That sounds like a really
Tim
dumb
Sweeney
lawsuit.
Tim Sweeney does have weirdly. He's one of those weird like corporate libertarian types. So fuck him also. Like I said, I find this extremely funny that Apple's just like, because Apple's literally costing themselves money by not doing this. Because like some people will still buy stuff through the app, if they put it back on there. But then again, this court ruling will cost them many more monies than than it would have previously had it not gone in Epic's favor there. So yeah, more to come. I guess as this tit for tat between billionaire companies, trillionaire companies.
Yeah, this is like the Real Housewives of Silicon Valley, dude. Like this is the trash reality TV that I enjoy.
Yep. And hey, I don't really have a stake in it, so whatever. So over the weekend, there was a lot of hubbub because it looked like that there might have been a leak from Steam of user records. Basically, an old text messages were sent to Steam customers with one-time codes for logins. And the reported new follow-up from this is that there was a hacker that was allegedly in possession of 89 million user records, and he put them up for sale for a couple $1,000. And basically what happened is that like a third-party service that links to Steam got broken into by all accounts, but not Steam itself. But people were kind of trying to hang this leak on Valve, and Valve was like, it wasn't us. Like, don't get it twisted. To the point where they even told like customers, like, hey, like, you don't need to change your password or anything. Like, everything is absolutely fine. Trust me. Trust me, everything's cool on our end. So just a really weird situation. And just a good reminder to people that if you use third-party services that connect in to these other like lockdown services that you use, just remember that data is not safe. This story is more of a PSA than anything else.
I'm slightly confused. What third party?
So there are lots of services that let you like link your Steam account to them for some added benefit of some way, shape, or form. And I guess this Twilio service is one of them. Yeah, so fuck knows what it does, but just again, remember if you're linking your data, just make sure you trust the service that you're linking it to, not just the service that it's being linked from, because once that data's in their hands, then you never know. Finally, in this week's sign of the pending apocalypse, so Fortnite has a Star Wars event going on right now. Apparently, you can run around and with Star Wars characters, and if you grind out your battle pass, you can upload. You can get Emperor Palpatine skin, so Emperor Palpatine can run around with AK, and it's somehow integrated into the story lore and stuff like that. The one thing I will give them is that apparently all of the gunshot noises have been replaced with like Star Wars blaster sounds. So I think that's a positive. I think that's good integration.
So an AK-47 goes pew pew.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, that's kind of funny, but
yeah,
I still don't want to see it.
So that's a thing that's going on. The other thing that's going on is that you can also find Darth Vader in the world, and you can converse with Darth Vader because James Earl Jones, when he passed away, made I guess like an agreement with an AI studio to allow the studio to license out his voice to use in like Darth Vader projects, I suppose, because he wanted to ensure that like if they still wanted to use like the authentic voice, that would be able to be used for years to come, because he always he felt like it was inseparable from kind of that story and wanted fans of all ages to continue to experience it. This is from a statement from his family. But of course, because generative AI companies are wholly irresponsible, they have Darth Vader saying all sorts of crazy shit, including just like dropping F-bombs all over the place and things like that, because of course they're trying to break it, because
like, of course. And I know people are gonna be like, well, he gave his permission, or that company took advantage of an old dying man. That's the way I like to see it.
Yeah. So apparently Epic patched it like right away as soon as it was discovered, but not before some funny clips got circulated on the internet that you can still see. Yeah, insane. Just like again, like nothing. I mean, again, every tech company in the fucking history of the world has the ability to just do the coolest things, and they just make the worst choices possible at all times because they have zero self-control.
I don't like AI, man. I don't like it. Getting too good.
Look, I like the theory of it, but again, we can't trust these fucking people without guardrails to do what's in the right interest of the general public. Like, they're going to do whatever makes them the most money.
No, I mean just the way the general public is using it. I don't like it.
Right, yeah. But I'm saying, like, the companies could place guardrails on that if they wanted to.
They could.
That's what I'm saying. Jay keeps sending me, like, oh, look at what AI is doing in the advancement of, like, this medical procedure. And I'm like, yeah, but this is what people are actually using it for, to turn Donald Trump into a Sith Lord. That's what they're using this stuff for. And all I'm saying is, look, I'm not a Luddite, right? All I'm saying is, maybe there needs to be some regulations on how we use AI.
Yeah, well, not with this administration.
No, certainly not.
Listen to the new episode of Look Forward. We talk about it. So
I just like, my God, man.
This Terrence, since you didn't listen, I'll give you a preview. Apparently, this Congress is trying to put a bill through that will not let any state enforce any AI regulation for the next 10 years if this were to get signed into law.
Well, okay.
Like I said, good teaser. Good teaser.
And here's the thing, man. Like, they're gonna deep fake some politician calling somebody the fucking N-word, and
no regulation. Sorry.
And here's the thing though. Right? That'll be the perfect that'll be the excuse du jour. Like that'll be the excuse for everybody now. Like instead of oh I was hacked, oh it was AI. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
All right,
AI
Shaggy.
AI. I didn't lie. Semper Fi. Shannon and Five. Right. I wasn't with that girl. That wasn't me on that phone call.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
All right. All right.
He
All
literally
right,
said
yo.
that they would. Yeah. No, he said it. He was like, "Yeah, that was me." Everybody else was like, "That's AI," but he came and was like, "No, that was me." Fuck.
Right. Because he too stupid to deny it. What the fuck?
Yeah, we're like again. The first time I heard that shit, they had said they had Biden saying some wild shit on Pod Save America, and I was like, I don't like none of this. I thought it was him. This was years ago.
I mean,
I
that's
was like,
kind of the
yo,
whole.
what the
That's
fuck
kind of
is
the
he
whole point.
doing?
Yeah. It's kind
But
of the
they
whole
did it
point.
to be funny, and I thought it was him. And I'm like, that was AI. I don't like that. I was literally walking down the street in downtown, and I was like, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like it at all. This is fucked up. And look at where we're at now. And that was like 4 years ago. Okay. All right. We're fucked.
But hey, the
That's
people in charge of passing the laws, they're too busy asking Google, like, hey, like, why is it when I search my name on Google that all of the bad stories about me are the first things that I see? I think my Google's broken. Like, no, it's actually working as intended.
Like, there are no good stories about you. What are you talking about?
There's no self-reflection. None.
Yeah.
Or they're just
None.
they're just too stupid and tech unsavvy to understand the challenges that confront us in this.
Everybody's
in
a
this current
fucking.
age.
This is fucking the Principal Skinner Congress. It's just like nope. It's the Google that's wrong. All right, yo. All right, shut up.
Fucking degenerates, man. I swear. Anyway, let's move on. 'Cause I'm starting to get mad.
I mean, let's move on to lighter topics of conversation because we're gonna take a quick break and then we'll be back with the topic du jour that is the Dense Pixels post. If you're a member of our Discord, you're able to ask us questions in the Dense Pixel post office that we will answer on the show. If you're not, you can go to densepixels.com/fans to join. We're going to start with Johnny, who asks thoughts on Booker T, not as a wrestler and performer, but as an announcer. Some people think that he is insufferable, while others enjoy his unique energy. Also, Unk gooning over Stephanie Vaquer never gets old.
Yeah. Yeah. That shit is so fucking funny, though. Yo, he's fucking hilarious, yo. Like, I love it. It's so stupid, but he's funny. It's funny, man. That's just racist if you don't like him. I'm sorry.
He is funny, right? Like he's got that like old Southern black man charm, that thing that made Shannon Sharp, like that endeared Shannon Sharp to everybody. But at the same time, I'm really glad Corey Graves is there also.
Well,
like-
because you need someone that's actually able to provide like astute commentary.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it can't be the color. It just can't be just the color commentary. If
Right.
it was just fucking Jerry the King of Lawler, you'd put a bullet in your television.
I don't know how
and yet it
JR and
was.
Jim Ross
Yeah, I'm gonna
did
say,
it
and yet it
together.
was for so long.
Oh, man.
I'm with you guys. Like, I enjoy like Booker T's just anachronisms. They're very funny to me. I enjoy when whenever Trick Williams comes out and he's on commentary, just with his fucking like being the hype guy in the back of the track, essentially. Like that stuff's very funny to me. But no, he's not a great color commentator. Like he's on the same level that like JBL is, essentially.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't understand the fine arts of color commentary.
Yeah, he's just looking at fucking Chilean ass or wherever she's from. Where's Stephanie Vaquer?
I think you are correct. I think Chile is the correct country of origin for her.
Ain't nothing wrong with
Definitely.
that.
Yep, she is Chilean. I don't know what they got in the water down there, but
So
you know.
okay, they just bought AAA, right?
They did.
Recently. Isn't what's her name? Lahidra? She's in AAA, is she not? It's a Spanish.
You're asking the wrong guys. Like,
Yeah,
like
you gotta ask
you-
that show tomorrow.
you-
That's the Mexican guy. You gotta
or
ask him.
Google, like if you Google a Hydra, I think that's what her name is. She's in AAA. She's a wrestler. You'll know what I mean.
I mean, again,
I'm sure there's someone in the post office that knows exactly what I'm talking about.
right, but yeah, I'm sure that that's part of the calculus is like using the pipeline to bring, the finest talent.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh shit, that's so funny to me.
Anyway. Cam asks, Fallout Season 2 is coming in December and Season 3 already has a green light. What do you people hope to see when the show returns? Unfortunately, our chief Fallout fan is not on the podcast. Micah, what do you hope to see in Fallout Season 2 and 3?
I'm not well versed in Fallout lore to be able to answer this question, but I will say that I am looking forward to it. The only Fallout that I've played to completion is Fallout 4. And I don't know what it was. I think it's just because there was nothing else around to play. And so I said, all right, I will give this a legitimate shot. And I did. I finished it. And it was fun. But I'll never need to play another Fallout again, in my opinion. I don't think I ever will. But I'd be happy with whatever was like the same level of quality that the first season had. I really enjoyed it. But I wouldn't be able to tell you, like, I don't even know what could be. I couldn't even make a joke. Just be good.
I'll tell you what, Carrie, you go ahead and post in the episode discussion channel when you hear this question, and you let Cam know what you want to see, because I think that your thoughts will be the most coherent. Anyone of this
I watched the first season. I enjoyed it a lot. I finished 3 and 4. I don't remember what the fuck happened. It was like totally like the characters in the show aren't in. Oh, I guess there's like a couple maybe in this
dog
show.
maybe.
Yeah, Meat. Is that the dog's name?
The name of the dog is Dog Meat. Actually, it's a
dog
meat too. Yeah, that's
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I just want it to be a good show. I don't know what the fuck
The
they're gonna do.
VATS system.
I didn't
don't know.
like here's the thing that kind of pissed me off. Like the most annoying character was the black character in the show, which kind of pissed me off. He was very annoying in that show. But
Yeah.
he pissed me off. But yeah, I just wanted it to be good because it had no right being as good as it was, considering it was a video game adaptation.
From what I understand, they tried to adhere as close as they could to the source material, keeping it within the bounds of reason. Perhaps some logic the Halo show probably could have taken advice on. Perhaps
Apparently,
they still be
season
around.
2 was better.
Apparently, it got better at the end, and then they pulled the plug on it. So
And they were like,
that was the problem there.
Ridiculous, man.
Yep. Phil Wander asks me which F1 track currently not on the schedule should replace Monaco. I don't think you should replace Monaco. Like, I understand why people want to replace Monaco. So Monaco, for you guys to understand, literally is a street race that they have every year. That is literally on the streets of Monaco, in Monte Carlo, and it's a spectacle because of like the city and the the Gulf right there and everything like that. But the racing sucks because the streets are really narrow and there's a lot of low speed corners, so it's very hard to pass people. So the racing is not great.
Or like when it came to Baltimore.
Yes, it's very, very similar to that, except worse. Except worse.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's also like the most historic F1 race, and it's like the crown jewel. It's like the Super Bowl of F1 essentially. Like it's a major event every time it happens, and it's happening next week, which is why he's asking this question. So I don't think you can replace it. It should be better, hopefully, this year, because for the first time they're mandating 2 pit stops in the race for each car. Normally you can finish the race with just doing 1 pit stop. Introducing two pit stops introduces a lot more potential for strategy to rear its head, because you're usually not going to win by passing on track. You usually win by having a different pit stop strategy than everybody else. But if you're talking about bringing an F1 track back, I don't understand why the Hockenheim Ring in Germany is not on the calendar anymore, because Germany is like a rabid F1 fan base, and there's no races in Germany, which doesn't make any fucking sense at all. So I would still bring Hockenheim Ring back, even not getting rid of Monaco. So Mark asks, Carrie might not be able to answer because comparatively she's a damned youth, which she then responds, I'm 35. But as the rest of you get older, how have your gaming reflexes changed? Like, I would get my ass handed to me in fighting games even more now than when I was in my 20s. I was happy that Expedition 33 went turn-based, but I still mess up the parry timing.
I mean, it's just like one, reflexes, right? Like my reflexes are really, really bad. They always have been, which is why I was called a waste of height, because I don't know how to play basketball. And but two, my patience. I don't know if I have like too many really, really long games in me. Like if a game starts to feel like a slog and I don't enjoy the characters in it, then I'll probably just put it down. Or if it doesn't feel like a slog, like the only reason I wanted to try Doom, but I feel like the pacing will be quick, but like there's no character in it. But like they're trying for some reason, from what I hear, and that's probably gonna kill it for me. Because I don't have the patience, man. I don't have the patience. That's my big
I'm right there with you, patience wise. Like I was the Devil May Cry, beat it on every difficulty. Ninja Gaiden beat it on every difficulty guy. Like, I'm not gonna let this game beat me. Now I'm just like, you got it, bro.
Like,
I'm going to push back a little bit on you there, because you're the one that's still dead set on taking out these optional bosses as you're playing through Expedition 33. Whereas me, like, I'll walk up on them and I'll give it a try or two, and I'm like, I'm good.
Take you out.
I'm all right.
Yeah, take you on one shot. You're like, okay.
whatever you got, I probably don't need it that bad. I'm sure I'll be okay with that.
Hey, but what I will tell you is I haven't turned that shit on like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Finished it, and I tried the optional bosses, and I know I can beat them. I can create builds that I would be able to beat it, but I'm like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and play Palia. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I agree.
Build my house.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. It's not the reflexes as much as is the ability to want to deal with it that has eroded a little bit more.
Yeah, like that's the thing with like fighting games. Like I can get through combo trials, right? But like I don't want to learn a character, yo. Because like I gotta learn a character, and then if I end up not liking that, it's like creating a character. Like if I create a character, I spend hours on it, and then I'll turn around, and for some reason the lighting looks worse in game, right? Like they do the thing that stores do, where it's like, God damn, like I'm really feeling this. I'm filling this shirt out, right? The lighting is great and shit, and I get home and see it in natural light, and I look like the schlub that I've always been. Like, all right, man. Like, God damn it. And then I gotta go all the way back.
And I'm like, my character look way better in the character creator than she does in the in game. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I'm not fixing it. Fuck it. Like, I'm not going back. Nah, man. Like back then, I would have been like, nah, I gotta fix this. Now I'm just like, okay, it is what it is.
Right. I'm gonna just be my character just gonna look like me with a fucked up hairline for 40 hours.
But yeah, patience. I guess all three of us like they just don't have the patience anymore. I'm too old. Fuck that.
Yep.
Yeah. Reflexes are still there. They are. Like, again, parrying in Clear Obscure. I've gotten through whole fights with parrying everything on 30 frames per second, I might add.
I guess not our first technically, but like me and Micah literally 3 years ago sat down with a FromSoft game for any extended period of time for the first time.
Oh, Elden Ring?
In our old age, yeah. So Yeah, so it's not the reflexes as much as it is putting up with bullshit. Speaking of bullshit, I'll actually because it thematically works. I'll jump down to T-Wash's question, who asked, in any media, what instantly ruins a story for you, for them, and is unnecessary romance?
I don't know if this is a story ruiner, but it's really annoying. Well, there's a couple things. Uh, One that ruins a story is just like poor pacing, but that's very like subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but something that's really annoying that I think is less subjective is a ham-fisted message. Like we just did a movie on black cinema. It was a love story about like an artist and an up and coming lawyer. And there's a scene where the lawyer just starts talking about housing discrimination. Has nothing to do with anything. And they don't come back to it. And it's like, yeah, I get it. I get it. But is this love story between this artist and this lawyer really the medium that you want to talk about housing discrimination for like 5 minutes and then never bring it up again?
Man.
And it's just not part of the plot?
In the parlance of wrestling, that's just trying to get your shit in for that right.
Yeah, man. Like you can't have Chekhov's gun and then not use it. Like
It was really fucking bizarre. It was like,
it was weird.
yeah, I don't know. Poor pacing in video games is like it's almost inevitable, right? I
Depends
think
on the
Crimson
game.
does a really good.
It depends on the game, and it
Depends
depends
on
on like you know what ruined. I wanted to see that Indiana Jones in the Great Circle. I played it on Game Pass because I wanted to see if I could get through it because like it's an Indiana Jones story and I like Indiana Jones
Before you
stories.
continue, that was an Inquisition moment for me because I got stuck on the fucking Vatican and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right, and that was it, yo. Like I'm like, all right, I got Game Pass. I got Game Pass for 2 months. Right, there's nothing else out. It was like December or whatever when it came out, and there's nothing else out. And I know I could beat this game within 2 months, even given my schedule. And I by the time I was just getting out of the Vatican when my Game Pass was up, and I'm just like, I don't even care anymore, man.
Yeah, that section was really long. I don't even know how long it is, but I didn't get out of it. Again, it was free to play, and I'm like, yo, why am I still here? What the fuck is going on? Why am I not in the jungle or some shit? All right, you know what?
Right.
Fuck this game. Delete. Also, it's like 100-something gigs to begin with. Nah, you're taking up too much space, and this is taking too long. Patience, like this exactly goes back to the first fucking question we had. My patience was wore thin. I'm like,
Yeah.
it looks good, but no.
For me
thank
and premium members who've listened to the full catalog of the Men with the Golden Tongues will be all too aware of this, as me and Micah drawn on about it for a long time. If you reverse engineer your way to a plot resolution, and it's obvious that you did it because you had to construct an amazing like Rube Goldberg machine of coincidences to get you to where you need to get to, I'm gonna be really pissed off at you, and I'm not gonna like it. The most glaring example of this is in a fantastic movie in Skyfall, where the villain's plot only works because of sheer happenstance.
Yeah, because he has omnipotence, apparently.
Right, and but it's also so fragile, such a house of cards, that James Bond is immediately able to just by doing one thing send the whole fucking thing tumbling down. So, yeah,
It's what Republicans think Democrats are, right? Like evil masterminds, but like stupid at the same time.
But yes, don't make me jump through leaps of logic to get to your plot point. Like, get me there in a nice, easy manner, and I will be fine. I'm willing to suspend some level of disbelief, but only some, not all. So, Kirby Curb Forever, a new commenter, I do believe. Hey guys, are you watching season 2 of The Last of Us? And if so, thoughts on it so far? Episode 6 had some amazing acting. Give the Emmy to both of them right now. That's it. Have a good day. You could not have picked a worse panel to ask about The Last of Us anything than this panel right here. Known Last of Us haters this entire podcast.
No, I watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, same here. I watched the first 2 episodes. I got exactly what I needed from the first 2 episodes. I got exactly what I needed. I got to see Mr. Fantastic play golf, and look, I watched that first season just to compare it. But I think this person might be new, so welcome. And I will tell you what I told Jay. I don't. I'm not in the right headspace right now to watch a show like this. I didn't play. I played the first game. Didn't play the second game. The second game came out in 2020, during the middle of a pandemic.
God, did it?
I think it came out in 2020.
It had to have come out before then.
Maybe 2019. When did that pandemic start?
Well, it started in 2020.
Okay, either or. I didn't want to play it.
June of 2020.
Shit.
Yeah, 2 months right into the pandemic.
Holy shit.
Right. And I didn't want to play a game where there's a massive pandemic and humanity is at each other's throats instead of trying to figure out how to solve the pandemic. And in the middle of one of the worst presidential administrations this country's ever seen. I wasn't in the right headspace. And lo and behold,
we're right back to it.
We're right back. We're right back.
Yeah.
And I can't I can't do that. Jay keeps sending me all this stuff to like, oh, doesn't this make you mad? Like, nigga, why are you sending me this shit to make me mad? What the fuck? Like, I'm really trying to work on mental health. 1, 2, 3, I'm taking care of me, right? I'm really trying to work on my mental health right now. And you sending me, clips of these 2 dudes arguing about like, hey, I think you should treat women with respect. Hey, I think you should fuck 16-year-olds, bro. And if they get a SA from being raped, then it's all good. Like what? Like what? Huh? They get the big O from being SA'd, then everything's good. What? No. Bro, don't you want to punch this guy in the mouth? Yes, but I can't. So now I got blue knuckles, nigga. I got blue balls for knuckles.
This is not where I was expecting a Last of Us question to go. I guess I'll put a bow on it by just saying I don't think the Last of Us story is very good. I didn't care for the original video game, and I'm certainly not going to watch the HBO show. But I'm glad that
I hear the second one. I hear the second season or the second game is even worse because it's just a petty revenge tale. Like at least the first season had some sort of moral quandary to make you think like, oh well. Is sacrificing one
right? Is the life of one worth the life of many? Essentially,
right? Like that was the crux, and that was an interesting enough premise that I think the game kind of, stumbled at the end, and the show did it better. But from what I understand of the game's story, it's just a petty revenge tale, and I don't need all this shit right now, man.
My reasoning is a little easier. Like again, like partially for Mike's reasoning. My reason, I just don't like Ellie in this season. She's supposed to be 20 years old, and she's like still acting like a fucking child. I mean, again, as a 20-year-old, you're still kind of a kid, but like, I'm old, nigga. I don't like kids. So,
yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, again, patience.
Right. But it's just, she's just, but apparently it's supposed to be good. Whatever, man.
I mean, in fairness to me, I don't watch any fucking TV anymore anyway. So like, that's kind of the whole thing.
I'm very selective.
Yeah.
With what I watch. Like the last thing I watched was The Pit, which is an amazing television show.
That's what I hear.
It's very good. Like if anything, if you were to watch anything, The Pit is fucking great. It's a little gross because it's hospital shit, but
Look, I love medical drama. That's my
Last thing I
favorite.
watched was Final Destination Bloodlines.
Of course.
So
Of course.
I'm
Of
I'm the
course.
How was
dummy.
that,
I'm
by
the
the way?
Booker T of the group. If you haven't realized,
How is that, by the way? Before we
it's fun, man. And if you've never seen a Final Destination, which a lot of you listening might not have, because Final Destination is a 25-year-old franchise,
Damn,
then
you're right.
then this is a great place to kind of jump in. And its story is ridiculous, but it's the best version of that story, and they know they're having fun with it. Like, yeah, I would check it out.
Micah's
Kirby-
my favorite connoisseur of media because Micah can talk about like highfalutin media in very like mature and advanced and like very intelligently and has a lot of nuanced thoughts on things and it's fantastic. And then he can also still find a ton of enjoyment in just the most garbage fucking media that you could possibly imagine. At the same time, he is truly the duality of man in one person. So this motherfucker's seen every Saw movie multiple times, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, absolutely.
I've seen all Saw movies. I've seen all those fucking Final Destination movies. That's why I asked him how is it.
Oh, it's great. I loved it. I loved it.
But at the
It's,
same time, like me and him could sit down and talk about, you know, like the fucking oeuvre of Denis Villeneuve together.
Yeah.
And shit like that. So- oh my god. Thank you for your question, Kirby Kirby.
yes, thank you.
Cam asks, now that the Gears movie has a director, do you think Big Dave is finally going to get his wish? Yeah, as long as timing works out, there's no reason not to cast him in this movie, even if it's not as Marcus.
I mean, if they do cast him and it's not as Marcus, that's gonna be
Is he
kind of
gonna-
weird for me.
Is it gonna be old Marcus? Is he gonna have his son by this time?
I don't know.
Marcus has a
I don't know what the plot of the movie
I mean,
is.
you know, shave his head and put that do rag on, because you know Marcus got them fresh waves, I guess. The fuck is Marcus wearing a do rag for? But yeah, just put a do rag on and you know, guys can get away with, you know,
Batista is what,
older.
56 years old?
yeah. But if he puts that elephant armor on, like he'll be fine.
Yeah,
He won't have, you know, he won't, you know. Who is directing the movie?
I don't fucking know. I know they announced it, but I couldn't tell you the name of the dude that did it or that they picked.
I think I saw it. And
David Leitch.
oh yeah, that's the dude that does the fucking Extraction.
He did a Bullet Train, Fall Guy, Atomic Blonde.
Oh
Deadpool
no, that's the other
2.
guy. He's it was a duo that did what is it? The first god damn it, the fucking movie with Keanu Reeves. Right?
John Wick.
John
Yeah,
Wick.
it was a
Wasn't it
duo
a
that
duo?
did.
He was one of them, right?
He was one of them. Him and Chad Stahelski.
Stahelski, yeah.
All right, look,
okay.
Fall Guy was fun. Bullet Train was ridiculous.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you because I figured that at least one of you had seen it. So like, no, with the knowledge that I found a lot of delight in that weird 2007 action movie with Clive Owen, Shoot 'Em Up, which I thought was very funny.
Shoot 'Em
and
Up is great.
And a silly fucking movie
Such a
that doesn't
silly
get
fucking
that
movie,
frankly doesn't fucking get talked about enough, in my opinion. Would I like Bullet Train because it looks like it has a lot of those vibes.
I didn't like Bullet Train. I didn't.
Bullet Train is kind of trying too hard, and I think it was a COVID movie, so it's kind of weird. It's trying a little too hard to be like a Guy Ritchie movie where it's got
I think
like
that's what it was.
So
Yeah.
it's more towards Smoking Aces then, which means I probably wouldn't like it as much.
And the thing I don't like Smoking Aces too.
Did you? I did
it's
not care for
I
Smoking
saw
Aces.
Smoking Aces in a movie theater.
it's
when it
like
came out.
smoking clubs, yo. Like it's not quite, you know. It's not quite
Smoking
there.
Aces is one of those movies that I don't think a lot of people have seen, but for some reason when I think of Smoking Aces, like that movie is so directly linked to the year 2006 with me, like it's unshakable. Like it's the first thing I think of when I think of 2006. I'm like, that's when Smoking Aces came out. It's got like the perfect fucking nexus of 2006 where like Ryan Reynolds was still popular but not uber popular like he is now, and that was like at the apex of Jeremy Piven's fucking nadir, and everyone was still kind of trying to rip off Guy Ritchie, but no one was doing it especially well except for Matthew Vaughn. But yeah, so
Yeah, I forgot Alicia Keys was in that movie.
yeah, she was. That was a big deal too. Yeah. It was a big crossover event. Well, I don't know that I can't remember if Common was in that movie, but it feels like a movie that Common would have been in.
I don't think I'm.
I don't think so. That was that. No, he was in that movie.
There you go.
What?
Yeah, he was.
Who the fuck was he in that movie?
He played Sir Ivy, someone's head of security.
That would be a fun game. Is just kind of pick like a list of like that style of action movie and just like play the game of was Common in this and see like how successful if somebody could be. The trick to the game would be every movie that I would select would have Common in it. So like that would be the secret the secret trick question of the game.
That's funny.
He was in John Wick 2, right?
He was.
Yeah,
he was in John Wick 2. He was in Wanted. Weapons of Fate was the video game. Just Wanted was the movie. That's right. So remember Wanted?
Well, Common was in a lot of movies.
I know, and they all kind of have the same general aesthetic.
What in the world? Common was in Ocean's 8. What?
well, that lies outside of that aesthetic. I will say.
Yeah, but no, I get you. But like, he's in a lot of movies.
Yeah,
and a lot of TV.
Yeah,
he's in Silo. What?
Is Common the most successful rapper turned actor in the history of the world? Someone had to say
he might
yes.
be the most prolific, but I don't know if he's the most successful. Like Will Smith made
technically
a lot of
Will
money.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, all right.
You
Yeah,
forget he was a rapper.
yeah. I did forget that he was a rapper. That's that is fair.
He came out with an album this year.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh my god.
I don't know if he's writing his own shit, but if he is, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But for
again,
someone
I
in
don't.
his like mid-50s.
Yeah.
Is it still like the kind of like
No, it's
general
not like
vibe of
bubblegum.
Big,
It's
Big
not
Willie
getting
style?
jiggy with it.
Yeah.
No,
No.
it's not.
Okay.
Nah,
It's not Willennium. Red's like Millennium. What the fuck is
No,
that?
I'm aware of the Millennium album. I didn't own it. I did own Big Willie Styles. I believe it was issued to every suburban white kid in the late '90s. So,
Did you listen, Micah? Did you listen to last week's episode?
Of this show? Oh yeah. 100%. Terrence is 100% right. Black people love. Look, as soon as Terrence said it, I started listening to Maroon 5. Absolutely. Everybody, black people love Maroon 5. I don't know what it is. Black people and lower upper class white suburban moms in their 50s love Maroon 5.
It's the only thing we got. Good lord.
oh my lord. How did we get from Dave Bautista to this? I'll never know how this happens on this show.
I had one question for Brad because last week we were talking about overrated bands. What do you think? Because this is literally my favorite rock band of all time, and I don't listen to a lot of them. But what do you think of Tool?
Oh, I love Tool. I'm fucking down. If you were like a music student, like if you played music or like got into music theory, as I was when I was in high school and college for a little bit, you're contractually obligated to enjoy Tool. They're the coolest fucking band out there in terms of like the style of music that they play. Like they are completely unique unto themselves. Nobody does what they do, and it's very interesting. But if like you're not into music, you're gonna fucking hate Tool probably, unless you get high a lot, in which case then you
I don't
come
get
back
high.
around. Yeah,
I've never smoked. No, that
Yeah,
like
but you're into music. Like I wouldn't know a
honestly, I
Tool
think
song.
you might. You, like, you don't like music with lyrics.
I
For
don't like
some
music with
reason.
lyrics, yo.
This
Give
is a
me
weird.
some fucking lo-fi beats to study by, and I will be fine.
Like I would try to give you a list of Tool songs to try to listen to, but I don't even know. I don't know what.
You
I'd
have you
listen
have
to like I'd give one a couple, couple seconds.
Like a
you
couple nigga, their songs is like 12 minutes long.
yeah, I mean
Oh
like you
no.
can go with the fucking standards, right? Like go with like Lateralis
Lateralis, yeah.
and yeah, just like go to
10,000
Spotify
days.
and just play the first three.
Hot.
Yeah, that
Is that a
comes.
spell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lateralis?
Lateralis.
Lateralis.
Yeah.
That's got Schism on it, which you
Yeah,
probably have heard that.
Schism you probably heard, even though you don't realize you've heard it. That's probably their most popular song. I think Schism is fine, but obviously it's like most singles, it's not their best work. So, but it is certainly the most commercially viable. But yeah, Tool rocks. I love Tool. So, did you know there's a Tool cruise, by the way? Like you can go on a cruise with Tool, and they play like 4 nights while they're there. I just came across that knowledge randomly a couple months ago, and it hasn't left my head. So
How does it hold up to the Fozzy?
to the Fozzy cruise, I have to imagine the Tool cruise is better than the Fozzy cruise. Yes, 1000%. Even though Judas is a cool song. Finally, Ken asks, "Is there a game you bought on a whim and then fell in love with it?" Oh, so many games that I bought with minimal research
Whim?
and I fell in love with. Yeah, for sure.
Does a whim count as like, hey, Brad thinks this is good, I should play it, or is that
Sure.
too much research?
Yeah.
Oh well, then yeah, like there's a ton of games, but I can't name them off the top of my head though.
Well, that's the
Blasphemous. I picked that up on a whim.
Yep.
I really enjoyed that. Moonlighter, I picked it off of a whim. Really enjoyed that. Like a lot of indie games because they're fucking cheap. I'm not spending $60.
Right, and I picked up Moonlighter and Children of Morta.
Yeah.
There you go. There's 2 great examples.
Yeah,
Moonlighter,
Children of Morta is great.
I fucking
Yeah.
I picked up solely because Terrence is like, these are cool, and I was like, well, if Terrence likes them, then they're worth a shot, and they were fucking great. And now I can't wait for the next Moonlighter.
I think Johnny said Sea of Stars was really, really good, so I bought that, and it's really, really good.
Yep.
Might try that.
If you want to read one for me, like I said, Nubby's Number Factory. I heard one person talk about it on a podcast that seemed really interesting. I bought it, and I have 20 hours in it right now. So like that's another good one as well. So yeah, I buy all sorts. Trust me, all I need to do is hear one voice that I trust say that it's cool, and I'm like, well, I have to at least check it out. Like like we at least have to look into it. And if it's less than $10, I'm probably just going to buy it sight unseen, especially on Steam because they have the very generous refund window as well.
There's a game called Monster Sanctuary. Came out about 4 or 5 years, a couple years ago. It's like a Pokemon type game, but it's also like a Metroidvania. It's very good, very good. I put 30 hours into it. I bought that on a whim. It's like $5. Very good.
Yeah.
If you never heard of it, I would check it out. It's also on Game Pass if you have Xbox.
I would challenge you, like anyone listening, if you ever find yourself without like the next game to play, and there's nothing like that you have in your backlog that's calling out to you, and you're just like, I just want something new, but I don't really know. Do yourself a favor, go to your store of choice, like your marketplace of choice, and just go to like games under $10 and just sort by popularity and just pick one that's in like that top 20 list that you might not have really heard of, and just check it out. Just check it out. You might be surprised what you might find just popping something random in, and seeing what's up. That like I think the biggest problem that we have in terms of like with the glut of content across the entire media spectrum that we have right now is I think we've gone away from like the TV method of having content served to you. Like think of how many TV shows you've, especially when you were younger, I'm sure that you watched and enjoyed just because it was what was on. And you're just like, yeah, I'll check this out for a few minutes, and you got to it. Like, I don't know why every streaming service doesn't have like a random button that you can hit to just fucking play something random and serve you up something that you don't, that you don't think about or don't intend to actually pick. Because like to me, like half of the reason why I don't like to use a lot of streaming services, especially, is because like the amount of choice that I have is paralyzing. Like I can't get past the amount of choice.
Like you jump into an open world game, and you fucking lose your mind. You don't know. What
that's why I don't usually play them. Is because it's just like, oh my god, there's all these fucking things on this map around me, and I don't really want to do them all. But at the same time, they're on the map, so I want to clear them because my OCD is bothering me, and I don't like having the shit just fucking sitting out there. So like, it's like just tell me, just give me the content. I will consume it. I will tell you whether or not I like it. But just fucking give it to me, and I'll do that. So.
That's because we're old. We actually used to watch television.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is some sort of
people,
generational. Yeah, I'm sure there's some generational gap in there. But hey, that's what happens when you have a couple of 40-year-olds waxing poetic on a podcast. Well, that'll do us this week. Again, don't forget to join the Discord. Going to densepixels.com/fans. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube at youtube.com/densepixels. You can find us as well as all of the other TNP Studio shows on the podcast app of your choosing. Just search for TNP Studios. You'll find us, The Nerd Apocalypse, Black on Black Cinema, and Look Forward. And if you want to support us with zeal, because in my opinion, it's never been a more important time to show the independent media that you love it financially, you can go to densepixels.com/premium and give us $5 a month. That also gets you access to the full unedited episode of the Look Forward political podcast, because we always save the real insanity for behind the paywall on that show every week, Jay and I. So that is going to be it for us this week. Thank you all very much for watching and listening, and we'll see you all in the next time.
See ya.
You're watching the Dense Pixels YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button while you're here, and make sure you check out our weekly podcast where we discuss the latest gaming news and our impressions on what games we've been playing.